Hey kiddos, so today we're going to be working on annotating a text and doing some text analysis using that figurative language that we learned about before the break. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to somebody.
Hi everybody!
Class, this is Patricia. Patricia, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I like pickles and I like to sing. See, la 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 la!
All right, Patricia, that was really good. Thank you for that. Okay, kiddos, we really need to get started on this work. So I need you to get on to Schoology, find our Langston Hughes story. You will find a poem, an excerpt from his story, and a biography about Langston Hughes. Okay, y'all, so we're going to annotate this poem together. The poem is entitled Wealth, and it is by Langston Hughes. While we're reading this poem, I really think you should keep an eye out for people's names or places that you may have heard before, but you don't really know a lot about them. Remember to use those metacognitive markers and underline words that you don't know so you can figure out what the poem is actually saying. All right, let's begin.
I see a name that I know. Me, choose me. I'm right here. Choose me. Me, Miss Holcomb. Miss Holcomb. Miss Holcomb.
Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, Patricia. Let's wait till we're done reading the poem for the first time around, okay? Okay, thank you. Wealth by Langston Hughes. From Christ to Gandhi appears this truth. St. Francis of Assisi proves it too. Goodness becomes grandeur, surpassing might of kings. Halos of kindness brighter shine than crowns of gold, and brighter than rich diamonds sparkles the simple dew of love. So from the very beginning, I recognize two names, from Christ to Gandhi. Now, let's say you've never heard either of these names before. A good way to know that these are important in this poem is to recognize that they're both capitalized. So when you see something that is capitalized out of place, you know it doesn't come at the beginning of a sentence. I would go ahead and highlight it and try to figure out how it relates to the rest of the poem. Appears this truth. St. Francis of Assisi, I do not know what this is. I'm not afraid to admit it. Maybe I need to do some research on it. Let's put a question mark by it. What does this mean? Who is it? Is it a person, a place, a thing? And right here it says proves it too. What is it proving? I bet we're about to find out. Let's switch to a pencil. Goodness becomes grandeur. This word right here, let's use our dictionary. If you don't have a dictionary at home, you can use dictionary.com. That should be able to help you. And let's define this word so we know what it means, okay? Surpassing might of kings. Wow, so goodness is surpassing the power of kings. How so? Does goodness have that kind of power? Halos of kindness brighter shine than crowns of gold. So I think what it's saying right here is being good, being kind is better than being rich and all-powerful. And brighter than rich diamonds sparkles the simple dew of love. So down here, I'm going to put kindness equals goodness equals love. Because that's what I'm taking away from this poem. That kindness, goodness, and love conquers all. What do you think?
Miss Holcomb, you really don't know who St. Francis of Assisi is?
No, I don't. Why don't you tell me?
Well, St. Francis of Assisi was the you. Gandhi was an Indian lawyer, anti-colonial nationalist, and political ethicist who employed non-violent resistance to lead successful campaign for India's independence from British rule.
Thank you so much for that information, Patricia, and I really appreciate the tone. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So one term we need to know before we start on this worksheet is allusion, with an A. An allusion is a reference to a person, place, or event from literature, sports, history, movies, or arts. Now don't confuse this term with illusion, which starts with an I. An illusion is a deception to your senses. Something else we need to keep an eye on in this poem is called alliteration. Now, alliteration is the repetition of the consonant sound at the beginning of a word. When I say consonant, it's every letter that isn't a vowel. A, E, I, O, U, out. We can't use those. But B, C, D, F, G, so on and so forth. If they make those hard D, G, V, B sounds, then that is a consonant. So while you're reading the poem, look in the same lines and see if you can find words that start with the same sound. Now, in this poem, there is only one example of it that I found. If you found more, great. Tell me about it.
Ooh, Miss Holcomb, is that like Sally sold seashells by the seashore?
That was a great example, Patricia. Thank you so much. So, to complete this worksheet, there is one more literary device that we have not learned yet that I'm going to ask you to find. This literary device is called assonance.
You said assonance.
Yes, focus, assonance. So, assonance is the repetition of the sound in the middle of the word. This is not the same thing as rhyming, because rhyming is the repetition of sound at the end of the word. So you need to look for words that sound the same in the middle. A good example of that is fruit loop. Fruit loop, both of them spelled completely differently, except that the middle of them sounds very similar. Ooh, you get that ooh sound. That is assonance.
Miss Holcomb, can we please get started on our work? Please, please, please. There's only 8 questions. Come on. And the definitions are right there. Like you didn't even have to do all this. The definitions are right there.
Yes, Patricia, you may get started. As for the rest of you, I will be posting some links that will help you, as well as pictures of our anchor charts about alliteration, allusion, and assonance that will help us out to complete the assignment. Also, if you look on your worksheet, the definitions are there. Don't try too hard. Focus. See what the question is asking you. I believe in you. You can do this. All right, kiddos. Until next week. Bye.